We have a lot to go through. As you can probably tell, I'm literally surrounded by a sea of plants and supplies. I have my little makeshift potting table in front of me, which is literally a bin. And on top of the bin, I just have like this IKEA little shoe thingy. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it. We have a lot of repotting. We have some moss pole maintenance to do. Basically just a lot of plant chores. And the reason why I have so much to do is because I am leaving for my summer vacation at the end of next week. And during the time that you're actually watching this, or during the time that this goes live, I will be already enjoying my vacation, hopefully. And I need to just take care of some of my plants because some of them are in really, really small pots and are drying out like it's nobody's business. And I will be gone only for 9 days, and my mom will be like, just checking upon the collection and making sure that nobody's dying. However, I obviously just don't want to put so much pressure on her, and I also don't want to worry about some of my plants. So I'm gonna repot them. There is a lot to do. There is definitely a lot to do, but some of these are gonna be really, really quick little jobs, and some of them will be a little bit more finicky. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to those, but I do hope you will enjoy this video. Grab yourself your own plant chores or like household chores or whatever. This is definitely going to be a very chatty video, probably a very long video, so it's perfect to put on in the background while you're doing your own little things. Grab yourself a cozy little drink. I've made myself a little soy latte. Delicious. And let's just get into it. Okay, I'm really procrastinating over here. Anyway, let's start with my Hoyas, because I have a couple of Hoyas that I want to repot that are just drying out like it's nobody's business. And we're going to be starting off with my Hoya Caudata Sumatra, which is probably one of my favorite Hoyas. This is such a resilient, fast-growing, really, really amazing Hoya, but she is definitely pretty rooted in here. I don't know if you'll be able to tell because I am quite far away, but she does have a pretty good root system. It's not like completely root bound, but I would rather repot her. Like, I literally watered this the other day and it's already dry. I also might re-trellis this thing. I am not sure. I probably should because right now it's just on a small clear trellis, and I mean, it does have some space to climb, but honestly, I don't know. I wanna repot her. That's what I want to do for sure, and then we will just see where the road will lead us. And for these Hoyas, I will be using Plant Scraper's Supreme Aeroid mix, which is a mix that I really, really love. This is like their chunky aeroid mix plus some tree fern fiber. And I find that tree fern fiber is really, really magical for Hoyas. Let me just find my scoop. It's in one of these pots. I think it's in this one. Yep. Oh God. Okay. And I have a couple of like soil options. Like, for example, over here I have a Monstera and Philodendron mix. Over here I have more of a like denser tree fern fiber mix. I have some pole mix, and then I have that one. So we are all set. I also prepared all of the nursery pots that I'm going to be moving the plants to. So let's just start. We're going to start with this plant, and I hope that this angle is fine, and I hope that you will be able to see. But honestly, this is more about just some background noise. It's not really about the visuals, because y'all have seen how plants are repotted a million times. But yeah, I'm not gonna bring it too close because I don't want to spill soil everywhere, but she has a really, really good root system. I am not gonna touch the roots. I'm not gonna do anything really with them. I just want to plop it into a new home just so it has more space to expand, and so I don't have to water it that often. But seriously, my plants have been just drying out like crazy considering it is summer, and I definitely have a lot of repots to do, which in a way is fun. I obviously love repotting. I think repotting is probably my favorite. I think this, okay, so since we are moving it into a bigger pot, the trellis is like sitting lower in the pot. You know what? Let's just do it while I'm here. I'm just gonna re-trellis her. This might be a little stressful for the plant, but hopefully it will be fine. And also I could actually really use another small trellis because I have a couple small Hoyas on my Vitio shelf that could use a trellis upgrade, and unfortunately, because the Vitio shelves are quite short, like only these small trellises actually fit there. And this lives in front of my west-facing window, so obviously there is a lot more space in there. And now I have two options when it comes to trellises. I either have a medium one or a large one, and honestly, I think I might as well just, yeah, I might just go ahead and use the large one, because why not? Like, these leaves are pretty big, and I feel like it's a fast grower. I feel like she will fill up this trellis pretty quickly, so honestly, I'm not worried. And I freaking love this mix. It is such a pretty mix. You know when a mix just looks pretty? I don't know, like it doesn't require any like topsoil or anything. Like it just looks beautiful, and I love it so much. And also my plants have been really loving this mix as well. I mean, I highly recommend pretty much all Plane Scraper products. I think their products are really great. The only thing that I wouldn't recommend are actually the semi-hydro planters. I don't know if you'll be able to see some, but like the big black ones that I used to repot some of my plants in my Q&A video. Yeah, those big pots, they don't have like a wicking system, but they are just like a long tube. And I've noticed that some of my plants that I repotted into that like big pot were not doing that great. Now, obviously could be user error, but you know, I probably will not be buying those pots again. But other than that, honestly, all the products that I use from them are amazing, and I'm not sponsored by them whatsoever or like affiliated with them, so there is no reason for me to suck up to them. I just really love their products. And I use like all of their moss poles and all of their trellises and stuff. So yeah, this is a little finicky because I'm really trying not to damage the plant, but I'm also trying to like jam the soil down the pot, because that's something that is a little annoying, I suppose, with these like chunky aeroid mixes. Like it's kind of hard to evenly distribute them throughout the pot, and I find that there is a lot of like gaps and air pockets, which I mean, I suppose the plants like, but yeah, it can be a little bit of a tricky task, but there we go. I think she's good. So now we need to re-trellis her, and from my recollection, she has two main vines and then, yeah, two main vines. Okay. Hopefully I won't damage any of the new leaves. So let's put this one over here, and I'm just gonna kind of try to wrap her around the same way that she was before. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a bit of like this maybe crisscrossy action. Maybe, is that gonna look stupid? Oh, I fear that might look stupid. Also, wait, counterclockwise. So this is clockwise, so that's counterclockwise. Okay, I always have to check because I never know what's counterclockwise and what's like clockwise. Also, these like stems are pretty robust, and they're really hard to bend. That is something that I find with some Hoyas. They really have just really thick stems that don't like to bend, and those are always just a little bit more difficult to work with, because I'm always scared of just breaking the actual stem. And it has happened to me multiple times that I broke the stem. I need another little dragonfly clip, so let me go ahead and grab one. I do need to buy some more dragonfly clips actually, because yeah, I am running low, but these dragonfly clips are seriously just so useful. I love them, and they also just look really, really cute. So yeah, okay, this is gonna look wild. This is gonna look wild, but hopefully with time she will fill out again, and hopefully like all the leaves will start facing towards the window again. But I'm just glad that she is repotted, because she really needed an upgrade, and hopefully now she will require a lot less water. But yeah, there we go. Hoya caudata Sumatra. Seriously, one of my favorite plants. Like I just love the fuzzy texture. I'm gonna try to put the plants that we're done with over there in the corner, so I free up a little bit more space over here. Okay. Next Hoya that we're gonna be working on is actually gonna be one of my new Hoyas that we unboxed in my latest Hoya unboxing video. This is the Hoya subquintuple nervous, I will never know how to pronounce that name, New Moon. And she is gorgeous. I freaking love this plant, but she came in as a rooted specimen. And again, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but she is quite rooted in here, and I've noticed that this thing would dry out like crazy. And also it does live in front of my east-facing window that receives direct sunlight in the morning. So obviously I just want to make sure that this plant doesn't dry out, because this is seriously just such a gorgeous plant, and it's working on a cute, tiny, brand new leaf. So obviously I don't want that to dry out whatsoever. Now this already came in some sort of potting mix. This is like the potting mix that Plantopus uses. There is some white stuff on it. Please don't tell me those are root mealies. It's not moving, so I don't think it's root mealies. I think it's just some mold. Perhaps, yeah, I don't think that's root mealies. Yeah, no, it's not. We're fine. Are we fine? I've never had, no, those are not bugs. No. I've never had any issues with mealies in general, and I hope it stays that way, because I've heard so many horror stories from like other creators, other people. Some of you guys are also constantly giving me updates about your mealy situation, and I'm just like, oh, I would not be, I don't want to be in your shoes, so I really hope I never get them. But yeah, like I have enough issues with pests. I don't need more. So yeah, no thank you. But actually this is perfect, because now the pot that the Sumatra was in, I can use for this plant, which is beautiful. Like just a little bit of a plant pot roulette. That is fabulous. I love when I don't have to like actually buy new pots, and I can just like use the ones that I already have, because I do have quite a collection. But that's actually something that I did want to talk about. It's the fact that these like small plants, I don't mind. I love repotting these small plants. They're cute, they're easy, they're simple. I often have small pots available. I also have a lot of like small cash pots and cover pots and stuff. But I hate repotting big plants, because big plants, first of all, they're always like a hassle to repot, and second of all, they require big nursery pots and big cover pots, and those are just expensive. So I don't have a lot of them, and I do have to repot, honestly, a lot of my like bigger plants. Like probably my Thai constellation needs a repot, my Alba monstera needs a repot. My ZZ plant needs a repot. My Bird of Paradise needs a repot. And all of those are like huge plants. And honestly, like I don't feel like dishing out like $200, $300 just to get pots for all of them. And don't get me even started on like the soil for all of those plants, because obviously the bigger the plant, the more soil it takes up. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with those plants. I'm probably gonna leave them in their setups as is for right now, and I will probably deal with that probably next spring, honestly, because I don't think it's like urgent, but it is something that I do have to tackle at one point, and I'm not looking forward to it. Anyway, Hoya subquintuple nervous. New moon is done, looking like an absolute snack. I freaking love this plant so much. I really hope she does well, because it is so cute and the blooms are so cute and I love her. Okay, next up, we're gonna be working on, honestly, one of my favorite Hoyas in my collection right now. This Hoya is literally taking my breath away. This is the Hoya Silver Dollar, and oh my God, this is such a good grower. It's such a resilient Hoya. It is a beautiful Hoya. Like, just the silveriness, the leaves are so smooth. It's like butter. It is amazing. Like, it's growing like crazy. And honestly, me and my friend bought one of these plants like last year. I have an unboxing somewhere in the fall, and I took a cutting, gave her like the bottom portion of the plant, and took like a couple of top cuttings for myself. And the fact that this plant is already like this size and just like so amazing, I love it. I love it so freaking much. But we're basically going to be doing the same thing that we did with the, I keep forgetting its name, Caudata Sumatra. We're going to be moving it from a 10 centimeter pot into a 12 centimeter pot. And I did water this yesterday, which honestly was kind of a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, but it is a-okay. And I'm gonna be using the same premium aeroid mix from Plant Scraper, because honestly, my Hoyas are my prized possessions. They are my joy, and I want the best for them. So yeah, they get the premium soil, okay? Because I love them, and I have just been so in love with my Hoyas. Oh yeah, amazing root system. Amazing root system. I'm dropping soil everywhere. Oh, I put in a little bit too much soil. There we go. But yeah, I'm in love with Hoyas, and I'm just so looking forward to all of my Hoyas. They bring me so much joy, and honestly, I am very surprised, because when I started my little plant journey, which is so cute, looking back at how I started this whole plant journey, and when I see this space in particular, because this space is rather new. We built this in 2021 or 2022 is when we built this space. I mean, the attic was always here, but it was just like an attic, you know. It had no like flooring, it had like brick walls and stuff. It had like no insulation, nothing. But we had a pretty major earthquake over here in Croatia in 2020. That was honestly so horrible, and I hated it. And luckily we didn't receive, or we didn't have any huge damage on our property. However, there was just like a couple of things, and you know, we were planning on redoing the roof and like the outside of the house anyway, like just add, you know, insulation and actually paint the house, because for the majority of my growing up, this house literally had no like outdoor insulation. It had no like color. It was just like, what's like plaster, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know freaking about anything about buildings. But yeah, after the earthquake, it was just kind of like, you know, might as well like put in the effort and the money and what's it called? And like zhuzh this place up. And since that was also like COVID times, I started working from home, and like it was basically like, we always knew that we were probably gonna stay working from home, or like at least move to a hybrid work environment, which is obviously amazing for me because I used to commute every single day to work, and it would take me like 2 hours to get to work and then 2 hours to get back home, which was obviously just a lot. It was a lot on my physical health. It was a lot on my mental health. And honestly, before COVID, I really didn't have much of a life. I would basically just work. I would come home. I would perhaps like do something like art related, but I didn't have any like hobbies or anything because I just didn't have time for myself. And even when I did have time for myself, I used to suffer with a lot of migraines and stuff. So it was not a great time. And anyway, because I was working from home, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like turn this little attic into like my studio so I don't have my desktop in my bedroom. And it started off as just something where I could have like my desktop and like just a place where I could work out of. And I had like a couple of plants, like maybe 3-4 plants. And just looking back at those pictures and seeing how my space has evolved it's so whimsical and magical. And now I can't imagine my life without plants. I can't imagine my life without this hobby. Going back to like being plantless, it would feel like there is a huge void in my heart. And I know it sounds cheesy, but honestly, this hobby has brought me so much joy and so much love. And ultimately, it has like made me discover so many other things that I love. For example, YouTube. It made me, discover my love for videography and that I like filming stuff. And it like created this cute little cozy community, which I absolutely love. Like you guys that comment literally on every single one of my videos. Like I appreciate all of you so much. You don't even know. Like I will post a video and I will be like looking forward to your comments the most. Like I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about how many views it gets. I'm just like, I can't wait to see your comments. And the fact that you guys constantly comment and constantly just encourage me feels like such a blessing. Why did I end up here? I don't know. I'm rambling too much. Anyway, the silver taller is done. I'm sorry. I hope you don't mind my rambling. I'm sure you don't, but like, I like to show my appreciation quite a lot on here because obviously this wouldn't be possible without you guys. And I mean, the sheer fact that there's like 3,000 people on my channel is amazing. Anyway, let's move on. So the Hoyas are done, and now I think I want to work on my pothos. So this is a degular golden pothos. I have a couple of golden pothoses in my collection, and this one lives on the little shelf above my desk. And it's drying out like crazy. Like this thing is drying out like crazy. I grew this from like a couple of cuttings and now it's like pretty long. It's pretty bushy, which I love, but like, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it's literally bone dry. And it is in just like a tiny little planter. So yeah. Now this is not going to be a huge jump. It's basically going to be like just a jump in like height. And that is because it does live on that floating shelf. And honestly, floating shelves are sus to me, and I don't want to put anything like too heavy on there. So I am opting for something a little bit smaller, and I am not going to be using my premium soil on a pothos. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my degular Monstera and Philodendron soil ninja mix, which is still a very expensive and very nice mix. And I do actually believe that there's also some tree fern fiber in here and some other stuff. Oh, it's dusty. I should not be breathing this stuff in. But yeah, because this is basically like my throw everything into this bin kind of situation where all the substrates that I'm reusing or something like that get thrown in here. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this and then unpot this plant. I don't know the root situation of this plant, but I would think she is root bound. Oh yeah, I can definitely see a lot of roots, which is great. And yeah, this will definitely not be like a huge upgrade when it comes to like diameter, but it will be perfect because it will just give her a little bit more depth, and I think it will be fine. Like honestly, I just wanna make sure that this plant doesn't like completely keep drying out, because something that I find with pophuses, like yes, they are beginner friendly houseplants for sure, but I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the fact that you don't really want to let your pophuses dry out, especially if you want to like keep their, you know, lush appearance, especially when they're trailing, which is what we're growing pophuses for, right? We want that lush, trailing, bushy look. And if you want to keep that look, you definitely don't want to let it constantly dry out, because then it will just lose leaves, it will yellow, it will look scraggly, it will look empty. So yeah, if you've ever had a pothos that just like wasn't looking good and you're wondering like why it's not looking good, water it more. Like these are surprisingly pretty thirsty plants as well. I find like all of my pothoses dry like crazy, and they're also like really good rooters, which means that they will get root bound quite fast. But yeah, there we go, golden pothos. I do need to water this thing, but I'm gonna do that later. Ooh, I'm talking a lot. I need a little sippy. Oh my god, this is such a throwback. I don't know if any of y'all watched Graveyard Girl, or I guess watch her. I mean, she's still on YouTube, active and alive and kicking. But Graveyard Girl is one of those like OG YouTubers. Like she is from way back in the day. And I remember just being a kid watching her videos. I absolutely loved her videos. She had a lot of like tea talks. She had like a lot of like ghost stories. My favorite videos of hers were the ones where she went to like a cemetery and did like little ghost readings and stuff. She doesn't do that kind of video anymore. She's mostly, from what I remember, she pivoted to the whole does this thing work format, where she just basically like tested like products that she's seen on TV, which those videos were fun, but I don't know, I like the OG spoopy vibes, I guess. I love ghosts. I love anything like scary. Now, I'm not the best at it, and I definitely try not to consume so many like ghost stories or like true crime things, because I get very paranoid and scared. However, I do love horror, and I do love true crime immensely, but I also am a absolute scaredy cat. Okay, the next plant that we're gonna be working on is gonna be this Maranta. Y'all know my Maranta. This is my variegated Maranta. She's not like too variegated, but she is gorgeous and stunning. And unfortunately, I also did water this plant yesterday. Such silly mistakes were made. But this thing dries out like crazy. I probably also need to repot my lemon lime, but honestly, I don't know. Like I feel like that one can stay in its pot for a little bit longer, but this one dries out like crazy. And similar to pophuses, I find that Marantas just don't like drying out. Oh Jesus! I mean, none of your plants like drying out, or the majority of your plants don't like drying out. There are definitely plants that like to dry out. Anyway, this Maranta doesn't like to dry out completely, and it will definitely lose and shrivel, and yeah. And we did like do a pretty drastic chop of this Maranta a couple of videos ago, and I know some of you all were a little bit scared that like she won't do well after I chopped so much of her foliage, but as you can see, she is doing peachy. Like she's doing amazing, and this is literally one of my favorite Marantas ever. But I will be moving her from a 15 centimeter pot into a 19 centimeter pot, or no, 17. Okay, I'm gonna be moving her into a 17 centimeter pot. And yeah, I did water her yesterday, which was such a silly mistake. Honestly, Matt, what a rookie mistake. But oh my God, look at those roots. Look at those cute little roots. They are precious. Now the problem with repotting plants that you freshly watered is that now I won't be able, like, I'll just have to remember not to water it again. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I'm gonna be using the same, okay, Gloriosum. I need to move the Gloriosum a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna be using the same Philodendron and Monstera mix that I used for the Pothos. That's actually the same mix that she already is in. So it's an environment that she is already used to. Going back to the like whole true crime horror story thing, since I'm going on my vacation, something I do every single year that I'm on vacation, I love to sit by the beach and listen to true crime podcasts. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite podcasts, I haven't listened to them in such a long time. I can't even remember what it's called. Oh my God, I will put the name on the screen or like insert a little picture, but it's basically like just these two like women talking about true crime stories, but they're really, really hilarious and I love them so, so much. I used to watch a really fun horror podcast. I think it was called My Favorite Ghost Stories, I think. I loved that podcast so much. It was hosted by this like girl and her boyfriend. It was hilarious. It was so great. But unfortunately, was it even her? Maybe it was even her husband. I don't know. But unfortunately, he did like pass away, and I don't know. I think she might have continued it on her own. I really don't. I don't remember anymore, honestly. But I haven't listened to them in a very, very long time, or like I guess to her now. And I don't know. It always feels so weird when somebody that you don't know, like you don't know these people online, but when somebody that you don't know, but somebody that is kind of like in your life every single day passes away, it's kind of weird, you know? Because, for example, I'm not really hung up on celebrities. Like, I could not name you one single, like, actor. I do love singers, but, like, you know, I'm not too hung up on them. But for some reason, like, YouTubers, podcasters, those kind of people, I don't know, I feel like I can maybe connect with them and they feel like more human to me, because with celebrities, they're like, you know, they're rich, they have like, their lives are so much like, they're so removed from like my reality and just the reality of living like a regular life. So I feel like when I watch somebody like this, somebody like just a plain YouTuber, I feel like I can connect to them a lot easier. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that when somebody like that passes away, like a YouTuber or a podcaster or whatever, I don't know. I feel kind of strange. I feel kind of like, I don't know. It feels like just I don't know. I miss them in a way, even though I never met them. For example, a similar thing happened when I was a lot younger. I used to be very into like gaming and I loved The Sims. And I actually did have, as a like 13-year-old, like a Sims 3 like Let's Play channel where I was playing The Sims and making like YouTube videos. So yes, I was a wee little YouTuber, and you know, I was watching a lot of like Sims YouTube back then, which was a lot of fun. And there was this one particular Sims YouTuber, her name was Queen, and I loved her videos. She was like the first one that got me really into the like Sims YouTube community. And she passed away, and it was so weird because I used to watch her like literally every day. I used to look forward to her videos, and you know, with gaming, it's like those people upload like pretty much every single day. So it's like there's literally somebody there every single day. And when she passed away, I remember feeling so sad, even though I've never met her, I've never had like a personal conversation with her. But it just felt like part of me was gone. Anyway, why am I talking about this? What is wrong with me? My brain just goes off into, I don't know. Anyway, the Miranda is done. I really hope y'all don't mind these like just chats, these like random chats. Weirdly enough, my like chore videos always perform a lot weaker than, for example, like topic specific videos, especially the ones that are controversial. Like the controversial videos always do so much better. And I am honestly surprised that like these chore videos never do that well, just because I feel like chore videos are something that I love to watch. I feel like a lot of other people like to watch it. So I don't know, maybe it's just like, maybe just the algorithm doesn't like them, because I definitely notice when I do like those, especially again, controversial videos, the algorithm definitely pushes those a lot more. And I'm trying to kind of hit a balance of, you know, making a video or like making videos for the algorithm, but also making videos for like myself and for you guys. So it's hard. It's hard though, because obviously I do want to grow this channel. I hopefully want to make this one day into like a career, or maybe even not a career, but just like a better side hustle. But playing the YouTube algorithm game is hard, especially in a niche such as plants, which is already so small, and I feel like already so saturated with other amazing creators. It's really hard to kind of like carve out a space for yourself, which is why I also started like doing a lot more like stuff on TikTok, which has been interesting to say the least. Okay, so the next plant that we're going to be working on is the Monstera stendaliana, and that was weird. Just Monstera stendaliana. And I only need to repot her because she is super, super root bound, and she is absolutely just like crammed into this pot. So she needs, oh my God, she needs a repot. Luckily, she's nowhere near to the top of her moss pole, but yeah, she do be needing a bit of a repot, but she is like bouncing back. I did this in like a video, I don't know, probably during the winter. I restarted this plant just because, I don't know, I wasn't liking the way it was growing previously. And yeah, she's starting to climb now. She's starting to get bushy, and I believe that by the end of next year, this plant will be like pretty bushy, pretty gorgeous. I do love this plant. This is a very low maintenance plant, but it is quite a slow grower, and it does take a bit of time to really get going. But once it gets going, it's literally like just, it's lighting fast in my opinion. But yeah, I'm just gonna oh no, the pot. Oh no, the moss pole. See, this is the thing. I never know what to do when I repot moss pole plants, because on the one hand, I obviously would like to put some soil at the like bottom of the pot, so it has like, the roots have some more depth. But on the other hand, if you do that, the moss pole gets really, really wobbly. So I'll just have to do like this and then just like fill it around it, I suppose. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like this plant will be fine. This is a very resilient plant. I just wanna repot it just so it has like at least a little bit more space, and so it doesn't dry out, because this thing dries out a lot, and this thing lives in my bedroom. And I've talked about it time and time again, but my bedroom plants get absolutely neglected. They get abused because I don't know. I forget about them. I'm very much a out of sight, out of mind kind of person. So if something is not readily available, if something is literally not within arm's reach, I won't be reaching for it. Sorry. But back to what I was talking about with the whole TikTok thing. Yeah, I started doing more TikToks and Instagram Reels and stuff. And you know what? The TikTok thing has actually been going pretty well. Like, I consistently get like pretty good, like, you know, likes and comments and views and like follows, which is quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I was always just scared of TikTok, and I never liked that platform, because it is so it's a lot. Okay, we could talk about this topic like forever, because it is just, I feel like TikTok and short form content is really like rotting people's brains, but it is obviously still something that is super, super popular. And if you want to be a content creator, you just got to play the game, and you got to also make short, I mean, you don't have to, but you know, it's recommended to also make some short form content. And I tried to fight the war. I tried to not do it. And I mean, who knows for how long I will stick with it. Like, it's not something that, I don't know. I'm trying to just do it because I find it fun, or I want to try, or I want to find the joy in it. But the reason why I was kind of always like, I don't know, not interested in it was because like the content that I saw on there just wasn't aligning with what I like. I like this kind of content. I like somebody just like yapping about the things that they love, yapping about their lives, sharing their thoughts. I don't like those like quick edits. I don't like all of those zooms, all of those effects, all of those, you know, they're fun, but it's not something that I jive with. And I always thought that if I like made TikToks, my videos had to be like edited and made in that way. And I kind of just realized that that's not true, especially now that like you can upload like pretty long videos on TikTok. Like I can just like make a video like this where I talk, for example, about a plant or something, and it can be still in my sort of chatty, more cozy, authentic style, which is great. So that's something that I have been doing, and I have been really liking it. So yeah, I don't know. Like, we'll see for how long I will stick with it though, because like they recommend for TikTok, they recommend you to upload like every single day, which is like, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, I'm trying to like upload as much as possible, but like in the long run, I don't think it's sustainable. And also like, what am I gonna talk about like for 365 days of the year when it comes to plants? But I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I'm trying not to overthink it. I'm just trying to enjoy it. Same thing with YouTube. I'm just trying to enjoy it and make the content that I love, but also kind of like try to cater towards the algorithm. But yeah, anyway. Monstera Stendeliana, she is a Dunzo, which is great. And we are actually making a pretty good progress over here. Look at us go. Look at us go. Now, I do have 2 more moss pole plants, and those are the ones that I'm honestly not looking forward to. So maybe let's do something else. You know what? Actually, I think I have a little task for us to do. I have my Hoya velosa or globalosa over here, and she is the absolute apple of my eye. Y'all, I know, like, some of you all told me that I should get this plant. And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of boring. It's like, whatever. And honestly, thank you so much for convincing me to get this plant, because literally it is one of my favorite plants in my whole collection right now. I freaking love this Hoya. And I wasn't going to put it on a trellis, but I do have this small trellis now from the Corada Sumatra. So might as well. I don't know if this Hoya necessarily needs a trellis, but like I said, I already have it. Might as well. I mean, she will certainly be a lot more happier on a trellis. And honestly, if I could get this thing to like grow and become beautiful, or I mean, she's already beautiful, or like large, I would be very, very happy. So yeah, might as well put in the effort. Now this vine, unfortunately, looks the other way. Ooh, can I twist it? Oh, this is dangerous, y'all. This is dangerous. She in danger, girl. Okay, it doesn't want to work. Anyway, yeah, this is a quick little job. I just wanted to trellis her. Honestly, I'm just procrastinating doing the moss poles because they're gonna be so annoying. Okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's start off with my good old pail. My Monstera Adansonii, who is incredibly root bound. Like, this thing is drying out like it's nobody's business, and I find that this plant just yellows so freaking much. when it's constantly underwatered, and I just wanna get her repotted into a bigger pot. And also I should probably extend the moss pole. I should probably do that, but honestly, actually, oh Jesus, actually, I do think there is like a little bit more space. So I'm not gonna do the moss pole extension now. I'm sorry. I'm just lazy. I don't feel like doing the moss pole extension, but we will be repotting her. Oh my God, Jesus, this is really stuck in here. Jesus, come on. Oh my God. Okay. Holy. Y'all, this is crazy. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Holy smokes. These roots. This is wild. Wow. Wowzers. This is crazy. Okay. This is literally rock solid. Okay, no wonder she is yellowing. I remember I made like a video recently where I was talking about this plant and how I don't know why it was yellowing. I was like, oh, I don't know why it's yellowing. Bitch, it's literally root bound. It literally doesn't have a single speck of dust inside the pot. Like, of course it's gonna be yellowing. Holy smokes. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that was something. Okay, I'm gonna be putting her into a 19 centimeter pot. This used to live in a 15, I believe, so quite the jump, but clearly she needs it. And I probably should maybe tease this root ball at least a little bit, but honest to God, I don't feel like it, so I'm not gonna do it. Nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go ahead. Oh no, the moss pole again. I forgot about the freaking moss pole. See, if I put it like this, like it's just gonna wobble. It's just gonna wobble. Ah, the damn moss poles. But if I put it like this, like, am I gonna do anything? But you know what? Actually, no. I'm gonna do it like this because then I can actually cover some of this like lower stem situation that is naked. And like she will still have plenty of room to expand like sideways. So you know what? Maybe this isn't such a bad idea after all. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm a genius. Maybe. I don't know, y'all. I'm kind of sort of losing it. I'm losing it. But yeah, what are some of your like what are some of your plans for the summer? Like, did you already? I assume probably the majority of you already were on vacation. I always take like the first 2 weeks or like the second and third week of August off. And this year, actually, usually I take off the first 2 weeks, but this year it turned out that I took off the second and third week of August because that's when the apartment that we go to every single year was available, because my boyfriend's family, they have like a cute little place by the sea, which is amazing because obviously then I don't have to pay like for hotels and stuff, and we can stay there, and you know, we have our own little place and it's really cute and cozy. So I am really looking forward to it. I needs a vacation. And honestly, I was thinking whether I would like upload during that like period or not. But I decided to go ahead and do it anyway. Like a break would be nice because I have definitely been working like crazy on this YouTube thing and now like on TikTok and stuff. Obviously, like pretty much all of my weekends and like all of my like after work free time would go into this like content creation business, which I realized that maybe it's not like the healthiest thing in the world, but this is bringing me a lot of joy, and it is also like just so creatively fulfilling. And I love the community that I was able to build here, and I don't know, I don't view it as a job, but obviously I do have to be mindful about not burning out, which is fine. You know, sometimes it happens, and then I just have to, you know, take a couple of days off, and it's all okay. For example, I filmed recently a video. I filmed it like 3 times, and I just wasn't happy with it. It was like, I feel like it would be a video that would perform well, but I feel like it just wasn't a video that I was personally happy with. So I didn't feel comfortable like uploading it, and honestly I didn't even feel comfortable editing it. So yeah, that just sometimes happens, and it's fine. But I do obviously, I don't mind putting in the hours into this thing, because I do want to build this business and, you know, have this little corner of the internet where I can share my experiences and my plans. So yeah, anyway, Monstera, Adansonian, hopefully she will be a lot happier in this setup. My God, I did not, no. I need to take better care of my plants. Wait, is the moss pole. There we go. I don't want the moss pole to be in the frame. Okay, now finally, there is a moss pole that I do have to tackle, which is my Philodendron Esmeraldense. And this is such a gorgeous philodendron. I love this. This is probably like just, it's stunning. It's stunning. It is a slow grower, y'all. This thing grows incredibly slow. But I do want to repot this because it dries out quickly, and the moss pole is literally, yeah, it's bone dry. It's literally bone dry. So we need to repot her, and she is in one of these front opening moss poles. So what I will try to do is move her from this small moss pole to the big moss pole. I honestly don't want to do that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a big boy. I'm gonna put on my big boy pants, because it'll just be a lot easier to keep the moss pole watered. And obviously she's not like at the top of her moss pole, but she is getting close. And I could definitely keep her on one of these like small moss poles, which honestly, thinking about it now, I could just extend this small moss pole. No. I'm gonna put it on a big moss pole. I'm not gonna be lazy. I know in the long run, it will be better if she is on the tall moss pole. It will just be a bit of a challenge actually removing her from this moss pole and putting her onto the other one. I don't know, y'all. Also, this plant recently did something so bizarre. Like its petiole or its growth point like grew inside the moss pole, and then it just like got stuck and it snapped, and it was just like, it's so bizarre. And now it's like, there's like 2 vines in here, and now that growth point is like, I don't know what's gonna happen with this plant, honestly. Maybe it would have been better if I just kind of like took some cuttings. Should I just take cuttings? Should I just take cuttings of this plant? I'm tempted. You know what? I might just do that. I might just take some cuttings and restart the plant that way. We have an idea. But I don't want to, like, there is a nice root system over here, but the problem is that, first of all, this root system is extremely dry. Like, it feels very dry and dead. And second of all, it's like so intertwined in this moss pole that by the time that I get it out of this moss pole situation, I feel like it's already gonna be, it's like I'm gonna break the majority of the root system. You know what? I'm gonna take cuttings. I decided, fuck it. I'm gonna take cuttings. I'm gonna restart the plant. And I think it'll be easier for me. It'll be easier for the plant. Yeah, look away if you don't like seeing plants get chopped up, but I'm doing it. Like, fuck it. Who cares? It's my plant. I can do whatever I want with it. I like this plant, and I think I would like it a lot more if I were to restart it. So I'm just gonna do it. Maybe I could even, no, I definitely think this is a plant that needs a moss pole. Because like, yeah, this moss is so dry. Maybe I could use some of these roots. Maybe. Let's give it a little bit of a whirl. So I'm just gonna remove it. Actually, I mean, now I managed to remove it from the moss pole rather securely. And I don't know, what would you guys do? Would you just keep this, or would you take cuttings? Because now I could totally put it on a new moss pole. I'm not sure. You know what? I don't know. I'm so indecisive. This is awful. I'm trying to see, like, the roots in the moss pole are quite dead. There are a couple that are healthy-ish. Oh my God, this is such a hard decision. I don't know, should I put this just on a new moss pole? Let's see how it would look, and then we can decide. Perhaps maybe that would be the best course of action. Oh good God, this is really buckled in here. Okay, so I have a front-facing or front-opening moss pole. I don't know. Like, if I were to do this situation, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Why not? Why not? But I need some moss, and this is gonna get very, very messy. I just spilled coffee over me, and I'm wearing a white shirt. Yay. Alrighty, this is gonna get extremely messy, which I don't like. I don't like dealing with mess, but it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be a brave boy. I'm gonna be a big boy. And I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the pole with some mossy moss. I don't know how much. Is this gonna be fine? I think that should be fine, and I can still, like, close it, right? Yeah, excellent. I suppose. I've never done this really. I've done something similar with my my SP Columbia, but that one is in propagation mode right now because I just didn't like it how it was growing on that front-facing or front. Why do I call it front-facing? Front-opening moss pole. So I'm actually restarting that plant, and I'm probably gonna just grow it not on a moss pole. Okay, so this will work. However, I feel like will I damage the plant in the process? That is the question. You know what? I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna buckle this one first, and we will just see what will happen. And I do know that you can't see crap, and I'm sorry, but you just have to trust me that this is a finicky process. And oh no, I just noticed one of the straps actually broke. Well, that is silly. Oh well, I guess the rest of the things work, so it's fine. Also, this philodendron has such a strong smell, and y'all know that, like, very specific philodendron smell. I don't know. I know some people love it, but I'm not personally a fan. And actually, when I was chopping up my not El Choco, why do I keep calling it El Choco? My SP Columbia, when I was chopping up that one, or El Guapo, or whatever it's called, the smell of it, you guys, that philodendron smell was lingering in the air for literal days. Like, okay, not days, but it was lingering around for like at least a day or two. And I had like the windows open and everything. It was crazy. Did I put this upside down? I will literally murder myself. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I think I put it upside down, you guys. Like, I feel like this was supposed to be the bottom. You know what? It is what it is. It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like this. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? This was actually rather painless, I suppose. So now I just need to fill the bottom of the pole and pop it into a pot. And I think I'm going to be using a 15 centimeter for her. I think that's going to be, yeah, that's gonna be a nice little size. So let's go ahead and do that. And we will see how this plant will do. And if she doesn't do well, oh God, this is not gonna work. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna do this and backfill it. If this plant like doesn't do well, or if it like, I don't know, if just something goes wrong, I can always just take some cuttings. So I am not worried. Oh my God, I'm spilling soil everywhere. But yeah, this is actually a plant that is really surprising me. And I didn't anticipate that I was gonna love this plant this much, but seriously, I freaking love it. And y'all know when I love a philodendron, that says a lot, because usually I shit on philodendrons, and usually me and philodendrons do not get along, but this one, yeah, hasn't been really giving me much grief. Is an extremely slow grower. I will say that. This grows literally, this is probably one of my slowest growing plants in general, and it takes forever to harden off. Like this leaf over here, the newest one, literally it's been out for like at least a month, and it's still not like fully hardened off. It's crazy. It takes longer to harden off than like something like an anthurium. So crazy. But I do love this plant. These can get massive, but something that I don't love about this plant is the long petioles. It literally has super long petioles, but it's fine. The leaves are gorgeous and beautiful. Okay, there we go. This was actually like a lot less painless than I anticipated. So maybe I was just panicking for no reason. I mean, typical. Philodendron esmeraldense. And with that, we are done. I am so tired. This was so much work. Like, I feel like I did so much and I made such a mess. I love doing plant chores, but truly cleaning all of this up afterwards is my least favorite part. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed listening to me just ramble about all sorts of stuff. Let me know in the comments if you did any plant chores. Let me know if you had like any fun vacation trips, or like are planning any more fun vacation trips. I would love to know. And I hope you have a super amazing, fabulous, gorgeous day. And I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye. My hand was doing something weird there. Anyway, bye.